Hello, this is Gio. Hey, look what I have here. I have a Sony VCR from the early 2000s. Specifically, this is a model SLV-N50. And of course, I've been playing around with this and it does have an issue, and we're going to try to fix that today. So I did plug it into a TV. I have a tape right here, Batman. We'll go ahead and stick that in. Seems to see it. It might play automatically. And yes, indeed, it is playing automatically. So that's good. And it is, I don't have the sound on, but we could stop it. And let's see, we could fast forward. And it does look like it's gonna fast forward there, making a lot of noise, but yes, indeed, it's fast forwarding. Go ahead and stop. And now let's rewind. And that's the issue. It will not rewind. So one interesting thing is if I'm playing it, so let's go ahead and play it. And if I hit fast forward while I'm playing, it will indeed fast forward, as you can see there. And if I hit reverse, rewind when I am playing it, it will indeed fast reverse. So it's only when it's doing the fast rewind does it have an issue. Okay, so we opened up the lid right here and you can see the inside. We have the tape right here. Well, it is still plugged in, so let's go ahead and just see how things kind of work a little bit. It feeds the tape fine. You know, when I'm fast forwarding, stop, it just kind of holds in place. Go ahead and fast forward. It is fast forwarding, but when I hit rewind, that's my dog in the background. Again, nothing happens, but the tape stays in place and doesn't slacken, so, well, that's a good thing. Let's go ahead and eject and make sure that everything feeds in properly. And yes, indeed, the tape goes back in and eject. So you don't get any kind of like hung up tape or anything like that. So that's not the issue. So I won't hold you in suspense that long, since I did get a little clue when I opened it up. Now I did hear some rattling, and the rattling came from this part right here. And actually I also noticed in this little hook right here, if you can see that right there, there was a spring, as you can see here, and it was just kind of hanging off there, and there was an actual little tiny piece of plastic that I found kind of like in the back, and I kind of fished that out, and I sort of lost it now. But I believe it actually, that little plastic part came from what this little spring was connected to on this little kind of wedge-shaped little plastic piece right here. So now with the spring off, I think I could just lift this out. I kind of have to maneuver it like that a little bit. And so here's the piece right here. And again, I think there's a little piece that broke off right here, and I'll show you an intact version of it right now. And you can see that this spring right here used to fit in a little hook right there and would apply tension to this part. Now this part is called a arm assembly reverse brake, and it's to control the reverse motion and apply kind of braking tension to the tape reels, and without that little spring it won't do that. And so that, I believe, is the issue. Now I have looked for this part. I do know the part number, which I'll display right now. Unfortunately, these are old units and you cannot get this part anymore. I don't see it on resale or anything. And unfortunately, this little breakage right here is a very common issue with these type of Sony VCRs. And if you do some searching, you can see a lot of people complaining about this. So I'm going to have to basically try to repair this existing piece so it will hold on to the spring once again. So how am I going to do that? Well, let's see. So I was thinking about various different things, you know, kind of like you can do like 3D printing if you have that capability. I know that there's at least one example on the internet that did 3D printing, but I really don't have that, and I don't really have the model for this piece anyway. So I was thinking maybe I could kind of glue on a paper clip kind of to grasp that. There's a whole bunch of variety. Now this side should be flat to that metal, so you can't really attach anything on this side. So it pretty much has to be on this side. And I was just looking around my shop and I came across this little plastic piece, which looks like some kind of something I got from IKEA that kind of stuck in a hole to kind of hold a little, I don't know, some kind of a little piece of paper or some kind of cardboard in place. Maybe this came with a frame. But I was thinking, well, originally the part kind of held the spring like this, but these kind of have little teeth. So maybe if I cut it short, maybe I could glue this on opposite like this and kind of hook the spring on like this. I'll probably have to shave it off so it doesn't impact the motion, but I think this will work. If I kind of epoxy this on kind of flat, it kind of has some nice little flat areas. I don't want to just put a point load right here, but if I kind of put enough adhesive right here, I think it will hold well and provide enough tension to the spring. So let's go ahead and try this out and see if we can get this thing working again. Okay, so first let's try to shape it. This little bit right here really does need to come off, so we'll go ahead and remove that. Just with a blade, like that. Okay, so I think I got the shape well enough, and you can kind of see I shortened this little nib right here so it doesn't impact the movement, and the spring should be able to just nicely fit around here, and it actually has little ridges to help kind of grip it and keep it in place. So it's just a matter of epoxying it to this, and you can see there's lots of area right here that I could use to epoxy. And it's just a matter of how far away do I want to put it. And I think that's based on the photos that I saw before. Probably this is the distance I'm looking for, but in reverse. So I think that'll work. Okay, so to glue this little homemade part onto this, I'm going to use a 2-part epoxy plastic welder. This one's just DevCon. I know like JB Weld and stuff has their own plastic epoxy. You could also, I think, use just standard JB Weld as well. Now, you could try super glue, and that may work, but really the tension of the spring is such that I can't guarantee that will work. But this 2-part epoxy should work. So I'll just mix that up and glue this on. Okay, so that particular epoxy pretty much set pretty rapidly. Some of them take, 24 hours, 48 hours to really set. This one should have set by now. And so I'm just gonna take the spring here, hook it up like that. Go ahead and put this back in where it's supposed to belong here. And this looks like it's holding nicely. Seems like there's free motion there. And so let's go ahead and try her out. Okay, so let's go ahead and stick her in. Okay, so it is playing. Fast forward a bit. Let's stop it and now fast forward. Okay, so fast forward's really good. Stop it. And now for the reverse. And it seems to be doing something. And there you go. It is reversing quite nicely. So it looks like we fixed this problem. I hope you liked this video. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.